G'day viewers, Peter here, how are they hanging? I've just finished painting today, so bit of a different one today. I'll just show you a couple of things. I've literally just washed my hands and just had a bit of a washed up the spray gun. So I got those wheels painted. So I'll give you a bit of a quick look what happened today. Alright, so hang on, what can we see here? This is my sophisticated spray painting booth, and yes, there is dead insects in the wheels already. So what can you do? You're working outside, you do the best you can with what you got. I wasn't using spraying enamel. I'll show you the paint I was using. It was just a Dulux brushing enamel, but it's paint I've had success with before, and so I'll show you the best wheel and the worst one. So if I come up, I think the first one I did was actually, what can you see here? So this is the first one I did, and actually I'm pretty pleased with that. As you can see, there's a few dead insects in there, but that wheel, and can we get the shine on it? It's actually, this is an epoxy paint. So I actually can't even see the screen on the phone, so I don't know what looks shiny and what looks... That's the inside, and of course this is the outside. Now, I haven't sprayed paint for 30 something years, since I was an 18-year-old kid, and but one thing I did learn back then was the more paint you put on, the shinier it is, and so I wanted to put as much paint on as I could before it ran. So this is the best wheel, and I think this one here is the worst. I'll just look at the inside now. Look, I can see a run down the bottom there. That's the inside. Not backwards in showing me fuck ups. And let's have a look. This one is the worst, so I'll try and show you where the runs are, because most of this is 90% of this is under the hubcap, so you're not going to see it. And look, if I was more cautious, I could have had no runs, and it's looking like they're going to be perfectly adequate. So there's no point in showing you all four of them. Now if we stand back here, you're probably not going to see this on the... So that there is the colour. So let's see if I can get this in one shot. It might be a little bit light, a little bit pale. I only matched it by eye myself, and told the fella to put more tint, or, you know, a bit more green, a bit more yellow, whatever, and a bit more black. And that's the colour of the car over there. So it's going, it might be a little bit pale, but then it might darken up in time. I don't know, but I'll see that. I'm not going to touch them now. And as I said, there's a few dead insects in there. I'll move the car out. I'll show you the gun I used. There's a little bit of a story with this gun. This is a gun, and I'll actually show you it's a gravity fed gun, and that's the top for it. These were on eBay for $15.80 something cents, so they were for sale, and you could pick them up in Springvale. So I drove out to Springvale, and when I saw it, I thought, this is a copy. It's a copy of an Iwata 71. Obviously it's a Chinese copy, but I looked at it and I thought it's actually a half reasonable copy. So I said to the bloke, will you do two of them for $30? And he said, yeah, sure. And if you look at the nozzle, there is, I'm not sure where you can see, there is 10 little holes in there. And I went out in the shed and I found my Iwata spray gun that my dad and I bought in 1974, and I'm just going to put them side by side. Now that is an Ewater double W71 from 1974, and that is a copy, and I'll see if you can get both of them in the one shot. And it's actually a half reasonable copy, except this nozzle here, it doesn't have any, except for the hole in the middle where the paint comes out. That's the only hole it has, and then the horns. Whereas this one has 10 holes. 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom, and 3 on each side. Now there is a bit of a story. It's Chinese, right? So I pulled it apart and looked through it, and those 10 holes in the nozzle, 4 of them were clear and 3 were not drilled through properly. Now I've got an incremental drill set, and I found out they were 0.5 of a millimetre. So I got me 0.5 of a millimetre twist drill out and a pin vise. Tried to clear them out, and they're only Chinese. They're only Chinese drill micro drills, and so they weren't sharpened. So then I had to sharpen a 0.5 of a millimetre drill. Now anyone that's tried to sharpen a 0.5 millimetre drill, I'm sure they'll throw me some sympathy. But I did sharpen the 0.5 of a millimetre drill, and I drilled out all the orifices. Actually, I don't know if you'll be able to see this. I'll try, but I doubt that it'll work. And let's. Oh, there you go. You can see something. So I drilled them out with a 0.5 of a millimetre drill, and the spray gun actually worked very well. Yeah, I couldn't complain for $15. Really, it cost you nearly $15 to wash out the gun. But this is a real gun. I'm not sure the professionals buy these, but there would be several $100s in today's money, I'm sure. And I have no hesitation in suggesting that any competent spray painter could get an excellent finish with that gun and wouldn't have a lot to complain about. And so this is a copy of it, and it worked well. Now, what paint did I use? Can't see too much here. This is a product called Dulux Metal Shield Epoxy, and it says to use thinners to thin it and wash the brush out. As you can see, I don't like spending money, so I thinned it with mineral terps and washed the gun out with mineral terps. And the paintbrush that I used to wipe the can down, I washed that out with petrol. And all that seemed to work well. So that's the paint that I used, that's the finish that I got. There's runs in it, that's my fault. The paint colour, I'll see when it's dry. It's going to be somewhere near it, but it might be a little pale. And the last thing I might show you is the old compressor. I dragged out the old Clisby 3-cylinder. I don't know if anybody's interested in this. The guard is off. I'm on the wrong side. This one's only a 1500 watt one. This is, as you can see, it's a 1, 2, 3 cylinder Clisby, made in Adelaide. If you wanted to buy that head, I mean, of course I got it cheap. If you wanted to buy that head, compressor head, would probably cost about $1,000, maybe a little more, but it would last you a lifetime. But the best thing I like about it is it's quiet. You get these cheap Chinese compressors. For a start, the tank's made out of 3mm high tensile steel, and if you buy a Chinese one, it's 2mm, and I think it's mild steel. But they're noisy as fuck. This one, I'll just turn. I'm not sure if you can hear over this. We're quite close to it. But that's a 3-cylinder compressor, and I'm sure you can hear me. I don't know, perhaps you can't. But out in the real world, this compressor is very, very quiet, and it's really not at all obnoxious. And you'll see when it comes around.